Hi, I'm Pleasure Nerd, and today I am challenging myself to do a portrait in all of my purple markers. Every single purple alcohol marker I own, I am using in this illustration, which, by the way, is a grand total of 55 markers that I have to use in one illustration. Why did I do this to myself?
Just rather stupid!
I recently ran a poll to see what colours you guys would be interested in seeing, and I, very stupidly, lumped pink and purple together, thinking that that would be a small category. I was wrong.
Wrong.
That's probably the biggest category that I could have set myself. So now I'm just having to face the consequences of my actions. It is what it is. Back to the illustration. I decided to split my purple markers into warm tones and cool tones. So for purple, warm tones pull more towards pink and cool tones pull more towards blue. Now what should I do about shadows? Because everyone knows that artists use purple for shadows, and I'm using all my purples in this particular illustration, so how am I going to choose which purple to use? Well, I decided that I would use cool toned purples because I wanted to add more colour to the face, so for the blush and the red around the nose, I felt that that was more appropriate to be done with the warmer colours rather than the cooler colours, and the cooler colours were better suited for those shadows. And you'll see in this illustration that I start out with very light colours. I start out with just trying to map out the features and figure out where the shadows are. This is because if I go straight in with really dark colours and I don't like where I've placed them, it's almost impossible to take that back and erase it in alcohol markers. So I decided to build up the values by starting lighter and then go darker and darker with my colour choices. Now personally, I feel like this really paid off for me because I love this illustration. I think it came out so well. I'm so proud of it. There were a number of times where I thought that I had actually messed it up, where I added a warm colour where maybe I shouldn't have, but overall I think it's really worked out. Something I really wanted to pay attention to with this was, because we had chosen the colour purple, I wanted to make it look regal and royal, because purple is a colour that's associated with royalty. Now, obviously this is not an illustration of royalty, but I wanted to create this illustration of someone who had the presence and the self-confidence and self-assurance that they knew who they are in that moment. Now, my favourite author is Terry Pratchett, and he writes women like this fantastically. He has two particular characters that come to mind for me, which is Granny Weatherwax, a witch in the Ramtops, and Lady Sybil Ramkin, who is an aristocrat that loves dragons and is the wealthiest woman in the whole of Ankh-Morpork. My favourite quote about Granny Weatherwax is, "Well, you know, Esme, she wasn't one for that kind of thing, never one to push herself forward. She hadn't ever needed to. Granny Weatherwax was like the prow of a ship, seas parted when she turned up." And a quote about Sybil Ramkin was that she was higher bred than a hilltop bakery. Obviously both of these would be much better in context, and if I could explain to you in more detail the characters without making this run for like 20 minutes, I would, but I don't think anyone really wants me to do that. Anyway, I've really enjoyed making this, and I would love to make some more of these kinds of portraits using all of my markers in one colour. So let me know in the comments your favourite colour, and I cannot wait to see what the next one is going to bring. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, all of those things. Until next time, bye!